Hey everybody, hope your day is going well. We are back with another reaction. Jackson Browne, Crystal Ball, and this was a request by the Folkman. Thank you so much for this request and donation. This is very rare, a rare song, or at least rare recording of Jackson Browne's performance of it. It was from a radio performance, I believe, from 1993, and the song was written by his friends Craig Georgi. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, and Judy Henske. So I couldn't even find any lyrics from it. Usually I pull it up so I can, follow along a little bit. I couldn't even find that. So it must be very, very rare. And also, Browne here is accompanied by Canadian folk singer Bruce Cockburn. I don't know if I'm saying that right because I did one reaction to his song "If I Had a Rocket Launcher," and I pronounced it as it is written. The one that almost would sound like a little bit of a malaise you go to the doctor with. But anyway, let's check out this song, man. I love Jackson Browne. Everything I checked out so far, awesome stuff.
We got a song that was written by two very good friends of mine.
Oh,
Craig Durgy, who played piano and in my band for years, and who I've written a number of songs with, and his wife, Judy Henske,
they're married. Craig Durgy. So I mispronounced it a little bit, yeah, because the writing is Doerge. I've never seen that name, Craig Durgy. All right, man, let's listen.
Songs with, and his wife, Judy Henske, who I've always been a big fan of, and who was one of the pillars of the folk era, and who is
I must check some.
Still writing songs. And
oh, okay.
among other things, this is a thing called Crystal Ball.
Slow. It starts really slowly.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
God made a world inside a crystal ball. Houses, trees, and little people. And God took it in his hand, and he shook it in his hand. And the snow fell, and the snow fell. God said, I would like to see the snow fall from the inside of this world. But I made it perfect as it is. No room in there for me. And God took it in his hand, and he shook it in his hand. And the snow fell, and the snow fell. Then God turned from the world and went to sleep. He slept 2,000 years. And as he slept, the world grew old and died. And all the houses crumbled to dust. And all the trees. And all the people. awoke at last, he said, I see the world is empty now, so there's room inside for me. And God walked inside the crystal ball. His mighty footsteps shook the world, and the snow fell, and the snow fell. And the snow fell on God's dark hat and on his shoulders.
Wow, very poetic and very beautifully sung, and the guitar makes you feel so peaceful. Absolutely wonderful. Playing a guitar, and the bass in Jackson Brown's voice when he's doing the narration, the spoken part, and then when he starts singing again, it's a, this great contrast. So it's beautiful, and you hear I think Bruce um, accompanying him on the guitar, but as well in the vocals at some parts, which really, and the snow fell, and the snow fell. To me, it's about, I don't know, there's the first part, I felt is almost like about nurturing relationships to me, not, if you take it about God, he made the world inside a crystal ball, but you know what? There's no place for me. So there's almost like there's an explanation why God isn't here anymore. Like he made it and then left our to our own devices, because there's no room anymore. But then, as time passes and you're not really taking care of your garden and your relationships and your people, they just crumble. And it's almost like a message to me, like, yeah, you can start beautiful things in life, but you also have to maintain them, have to keep them. What it's a relationship with a friend or a partner, a child, whether it's your garden, just it needs work. You need to do the work. You can't just start something and then leave it. You so I felt that with the first part, and then the second part, you know, you finally realize like, oh, something's going on here. I better check. Now there's room for me, but you're kind of lonely. That's almost how I look at it from a human perspective. If you take it to the literal sense, it's like a very beautiful poem about God. Must be lonely, but I do, for me, I took it as like, oh, we better take the chance now to nurture our relationships before we end up all by ourselves in this crystal ball. That's how I took it. I would be interested in hearing different interpretations, but really beautiful, the contrast between the spoken word and the singing. It almost has this Leonard Cohen type vibe. And maybe it's because he was talking about, oh, God steps in, the giant feet and then snow falling on his black hat and shoulders. For some reason, Leonard Cohen slipped into my mind at that part. Like, oh, yeah, it's like, and with the spoken word, my brain made this association. So yeah, I'm very interested in hearing your thoughts, but really beautiful. I love discovering these very rare things. Almost even fans sometimes don't know about this type of stuff. And then I see comms like, "Whoa, I never saw this performance. I never heard this song before." So it's cool. That's cool. That's really cool. So thank you for introducing me to it, spending some time with me. Hope you have a great day. Peace.